I am a very proud Canadian. That does not mean for a minute, though, that I'm proud of everything Canada has ever done. Heck, I'm not even proud of everything I've ever done. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and some I really don't care to talk about or discuss with anybody. But I've never once made a mistake on purpose. When you leave home at the age of 16 with no intentions ever going back, you grow up in a hurry. One of the things you'll learn is it's a tough old world out there, and it's a survival of the toughest. Most Canadians today have never seen hard times. Since we don't have enough problems, it seems like some people want to create problems that aren't there. Hard times help us gain wisdom. Wisdom helps us realize that not everything that we hear is correct. Wisdom helps us to look at everything maybe a little differently. You learn that not everything you hear is correct. That the news you hear, it's really not the news, it's entertainment. And that if it bleeds, it leads. In the last couple of weeks, we've all heard an awful story about this so-called massive grave that was found by a radar device in BC. It's a tragic thing. No matter, there's no way to look at it without saying it's not a tragic thing. But from what I understand, we do not know the entire story. I know myself, I'm notorious for hearing a little bit of a story, and making, a decision on it, and then of course, maybe made a mistake. It seems like a lot of people today are trying to their absolute best to get that 5 minutes of fame. And sometimes, they're trying to get that 5 minutes of fame by trying to out crazy the other. And it's just that bad. The latest trend is to try and cancel Canada Day. In the history of Canada, I'm not so certain we have ever witnessed such poor leaders in leadership positions at all levels. This pandemic has really shown us just how poor our leaders really are. Canada, now more than ever, needs leadership. Leadership, it's not acting, it's not a theater, it's not making sure you're wearing a mask when the cameras are on. It's not walking out the front door every day and handing out free money. That's not leadership. Leadership is making tough decisions and say, hey, look, follow me. Leadership is influencing average people to do great things. Leadership isn't always doing what people want. We've got people today that are trying to lead us by following the polls. That doesn't work. Leading by following the polls is like trying to drive down a 4-lane highway with your car at 100 kilometers an hour in reverse, but looking out the rearview mirror. You're going to crash. It just doesn't work. Canadians, now more than ever, need to know where they're going. We need leadership. Going and hiding in our basement in Canada today isn't leading. The wisest man who ever lived said that where there is no vision, the people will perish. By not celebrating Canada Day, we are going to perish. I'm not going to go down that road because I can promise you there'll be an excuse next year to cancel it again. That's how habits start. Habits always start with the first one. Canada is a great country. It's fought in 2 wars, ugly wars, and things happen, we don't want to talk about. There were men and women who gave up their lives. They gave all they had so we could live in a free country that we could celebrate. They worked every day and they never showed up late. I presume, when you're out there trying to save a country, there's no such thing as paid sick days, okay? You got to get out and you got to work. If it wasn't for great leaders like Churchill, we'd be speaking German today, living in a communist country. That may seem offensive to some of you, but I can't hide the truth. The truth is still the truth. And the truth is a bit like, putting perfume on a pig. If you put perfume on a pig, it's still a pig. There has been a lot happen in the last 150 years. It's not that long ago that marijuana was illegal. They didn't have the education system that we have today 150 years ago. However, I do believe that they did the best that they could at that time with the knowledge that they had. If the history books we're reading today are anything like the news that we're watching on TV today, who really knows the truth? Just imagine if the history books were wrote by CNN. Yesterday ended last night. I cannot change my past by ripping up old pictures. Okay, we can't change Canada's past by tearing down statues. My past helps me to remember where I came from, but it also helps me to remember where I need to go. If we think we can change the past by not celebrating Canada Day, we're only fooling ourselves. We should be celebrating Canada Day in spite of our history. If you have lived in a bubble wrap life, if you have never made a mistake, well, then chances are you've never set out to accomplish anything. We need to thank the people that came here from all over the world to create this country, to survive the battles, to create this country we have today, and we need to celebrate it. They, like me, I'm sure, made mistakes along the way, but they were only doing what they thought was right at the time. You got to remember, 150 years ago, nobody had a cell phone where they could text their mommy and ask them what they should do. The greatest leader of all time said that, he who is without sin can throw the first stone. So I say to you, if you are perfect, then and only then do you have the right to cancel Canada Day. Go ahead, cancel yours. Just don't mess with mine, okay, please? I'll be celebrating Canada Day with my family just like I've always done. You're free to go hide in your basement and dwell in the past all you want. I would encourage you, though, light some candles, pour some tea, try as hard as you can to change the past. Best of luck to you. You do you. Canada is way bigger than you. Just don't forget to wear a mask. If you want to help save Canada today, please like and share this video, or better yet, make your own. Let's get something going here. Canada, now more than ever, needs leaders. It needs you and I to step up, because Lord knows our leaders aren't doing it. It's our turn to lead. We can all lead by saving Canada Day. Happy Canada Day.